with Master Psychic Lana Duncan Hartgraves. Lana has been a practicing psychic for over 25 years and has the gifts of clairaudience, clairvoyance, and clairsentience. She is an empath, a medium, as well as a pet communicator and health advisor. If you want to know more about what she does, check her out at www.enchantedskye.com. Hey, good. Welcome in. This is Metaphysical Meanderings right here. We've got live our good friend, the Master Psychic, Lana Duncan Hartgraves, talking about astrology transits, October 23rd to 24th. And look who's here. Susie Evolutionary. Hey, hey.
Hi.
Yep. Hi, guys. I know there's a lot going on astrologically, so that's why I invited her, because she can explain it better than me. And I was wrong at something, and I thought I was right. And I see I don't know my transits. I just know something. I was going to get ready to go direct, but I was early, later than she said. So, but I don't know transits. I will admit that to anybody, that I don't know all my transits. But welcome, Susie. How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. And don't be hard on yourself, because there's a gazillion things going on, and there has been the summer was Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, and as we can see out in the collective, if you don't live under a rock, it's been a little explosive. We're in the middle of eclipse season. Pluto went in 1 week. We had a new moon in Aries, which can be, combustive, and then Pluto had gone direct. Mars moved into Scorpio. That's all a lot. And when Pluto's going direct, it's also squaring the nodal axis right now, so there's a lot. I mean, I'm having conversations with other astrologers, and they're like, woohoo, Capricorn's going to leave Aquarius in spring. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's going back in September. It's such a Mr. Toad's Wild Ride right now.
It is. And for the people that are on TikTok, if you want to go and see on my screen and see what's going on, go to YouTube and lanasenchantedskye, or go to 216 the net, and you can go live there. You can see my screen, because TikTok does not have the capabilities of going to the rest of the things on StreamYard. So just thought I would tell you.
That's crazy.
But of course, they can't see it. So, and that's okay, I guess, right?
But of course, if you look down at the bottom of the screen, diamondsnaturalstore.com for all your fur babies' healthy diet needs. And we thank them for their support. Susie's great. Thank you. All right.
Thank you.
A lot of Sues on this show today. It's good.
That's okay. I was talking to Susie, and I noticed that people think that they don't affect you. And that's what really gets me, because anything about this, the more you get into this, the more you realize it. We were talking where the Pisces, it was a full moon in Pisces, and I couldn't turn my psychic ability off. And I'm a Pisces moon. I could not turn it off. I'm very good at turning it off, you guys. And I just couldn't. It was too much for me. And I got really tired. I was sleeping. So these things do make a difference. So I just thought I would go through with some of the things. So I know Pluto's gone direct. I know it's very, very progressive time. To explain a little bit more about the Pluto thing, because to me, it's a big deal. So I really do, because it's long. It's going to last a long time.
Well, I mean, it is a big deal. Pluto has been in Capricorn since 2008. And so, we saw it kind of dip into Aquarius, and then dip back out, and then go retrograde in Capricorn. Capricorn is a wonderful sign on a personal level. I have a lot of Capricorns in my life, because it's the opposite of Cancer. We kind of had that conversation last time I was on the podcast. So I love Capricorn. And I think they're one of I like to call them my creme brulee sides. Sometimes they come out a little They come off a little tough. On the outside, that's because they are hiding and protecting a very warm, gooey inside. So I love Capricorns. Capricorn in the collective, Pluto is a generational planet in your chart. It's going to show you your personal power, but when it's transiting in the sky, like whatever it's doing right now in our sky, that's a collective. That's a collective energy. And so we see that a lot played out globally. And it moves whole dynamics. It's not really generational because Pluto can stay in a sign so long that it encompasses more than one generation.
Yes.
But
Isn't it very progressive? Isn't it very, like, when it goes direct, it's like,
no, Pluto is it's our slowest moving planet. It takes 225 years for it to go around completely. Yes. So what we're seeing right now with a lot of the discombobulation in the United States is because the United States is having its Pluto return.
Yes,
so
exactly.
yeah. So what happens is to give another example of that, the Roman Empire, when it had its Pluto return, definitely did some deconstructing and some reconstructing. And that's what Pluto is about. It's about Pluto is it's power. It can be psychic ability in the personal chart. Yes. But when we talk about it as power, and what we're seeing now, and in it, Capricorn likes really traditional, older things. It favors the patriarchy. So what we are seeing right now in some of even the laws that have been going on is what I like to say that is the Capricorn patriarchy realizing it's about to move into Aquarius.
Exactly.
Which is the humanitarian sign. That's going to be power for the people. And so the powers that be that would like it more in the old structure, in the old hierarchy, are gasping for breath and doing some crazy going backwards with our laws and whatnot instead of moving forward as a society.
Yep. I always tell Susie, it's like I understand astrology as far as the signs, but of the transits, I don't always understand, but I know what's coming. And I keep saying that it's going to be so progressive. It's going to blow people's minds because the old people that know they're losing control are trying to keep control, but they aren't going to be able to.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
With the age of Aquarius coming, and we're really right into the middle, it's going to be progressive. It's going to be, you're going to see, you're going to be very, very surprised. Right. And I always say this, it's the age of Aquarius that anything that doesn't promote love cannot stand. So anything that is evil will be exposed and all that. So.
Well, the evil being exposed right now too is a lot of Neptune in retrograde. Neptune creates fog. So when it goes into retrograde, we have more clear sight and it's harder to hide a lie. Neptune is really associated with lying. And
so how long does that stay in?
And Neptune will be in retrograde for a little while. We have so much in retrograde, so they're gonna slowly go direct, right? Saturn will go direct, I believe, right? It's about New Year's Eve. I think that's the one that we were discussing earlier.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So
it's off on that. So a little bit on the time because she's like, it went direct now, and I went, I thought it didn't go back direct till the end of January, but I think I have a different planet. I knew it was going direct. I just got the wrong date.
Yeah. So. And astrology, I always like to say astrology is like Goodwill Hunting math. There's so many layers. It's not the easy generalized, I get nuts. I have to block people on TikTok because they're like, all Geminis are horrible and all Scorpios are evil and all Cancers are crybabies. And I'm like, that is not astrology. That is the horoscopes in the back of our mom's magazines. Baloney that did the worst thing ever for astrology. So
hey, remember when you would open up the newspaper way back when there were still newspapers, you would see your daily astrology and know that it wasn't accurate?
I never won that lottery, not once when it told me I would.
I know it.
Right. So yeah. And plus when you're looking at a horoscope, you want to be looking for your rising. So
that's exactly, I always look at I am so Capricorn. Like I'm a Sag, but man, everything is very Capricorn for me.
Well, and the reason you want to look at your rising, because your rising decides where your houses are. So like this eclipse that's coming next on the 28th, that's happening at 5 degrees of Taurus. So wherever you have 5 degrees of Taurus, that house holds its own subjects.
Okay, so explain that a little bit more. So supposedly we have a Taurus in our north node, and it's not a real high degree.
No, so we're having a full moon in Taurus. Taurus North Node is going
will
to
that
be
really affect it or no?
Well, we don't have our node. Our nodes moved into Aries and Libra in July, which is why Capricorn, Pluto gasping for its last breath is a little bit more explosive because it's squaring those nodes exactly.
So what do you mean by squaring? What does that mean?
Squaring means when something is, I'm going to make it really easy. So if something is in the same sign and 5 degrees, it's holding hands, it's conjunct. If something is in the same element, so if it's in the same, if it's all in water and it's within 5 degrees, it's trining. And that's the I love you more conversations between planets.
Okay.
A square is when it's in the same modality. So you have cardinal, mutable, and fixed. And
remember, I've got people that don't know any of this.
Right. So your Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, and Libra are all cardinal signs. Those are the movers, the doers. Sometimes they little suffer with the follow through, but they're the movers, the doers. They're I'll start, I'll go. And so when anything is in the same modality within 5 to 8 degrees, I like to keep a small orb.
Yes.
It's squaring, which means they're on the different angles. If the wheel is a 4 cut pieces of pie, then if it's on so they are squaring each other. Squarings create challenges. They feel combative to some people. They go, oh no, it's a square. But those are the things that are supposed to move us personally, move us as a society, because change rarely comes from complacency. So the challenges are there to help us, not hurt us.
Yes. I've got a question. I got it from a fan on TikTok. They said that they have a 21 to Taurus in Jupiter. Does that mean anything?
I mean, sure, it means a lot of things. It also depends
on I'm saying with this transit.
Well, so this eclipse, it's a full moon. So the sun will be at 5 degrees Scorpio, and the moon will be at 5 degrees in Taurus. But Taurus is it conjunct. That moon in Taurus is conjunct Jupiter at 11 degrees and in retrograde. And then the sun is conjunct both Mercury and Mars, which can be explosive conversations. And then the Jupiter expands things. So the emotions can feel big. And then poof comes the Scorpio communication with a little, little cinnamon pepper on it. Right. So if you're at 21 degrees, whatever your placement is won't really be affected because it's too far in orbs every
got it
right.
Okay. All right.
Every sign has 30 degrees. But the house is the subject matter. So it's happening in your, if that
she's like
no, I'm sure a lot of people are. So if you hear, oh, there's a full moon and it's the Taurus Scorpio, which those are opposites, that's why it's an axis. If you hear that, but you're not within 0 to like 11 degrees, and even if it's at 5 degrees, full moons come to culminate cycles so that we can let go. If you imagine there's stuff that you want to get rid of and you put it on the shore of water, ocean. I'm so lost. See, there are so many people, you guys, astrology, it takes years and years to learn this. But so it's Goodwill Hunting math.
Happen with the we lost you for a minute. What do you think is going to happen then with this full moon for most people? How's
that's the thing. Astrology is so individual. It's not a most people kind of situation. I can tell you, hi Shauna. I can tell you that if it's happening, if you have 5 degrees in the first house, this is going to be about something that you want to let go of physically, about that's just you, that's very personal. If it's in the second house, it can absolutely bring an end of a cycle to financial cycles that you've had, because that is your financial access. In the third house, that's going to be about probably letting go about whatever you're not talking about. Again, how it aspects the different planets in your chart. This is going to be different.
Exactly.
Fourth house is home. Fifth house is, oh my God, it's kids, it's sexual relations, it's romance, it's risk, it's gambling. Sixth house is health. Because we have Mars you're going to have an between Mars and Jupiter. You're going to have a bigger inflammation in whatever house the subject. 7th is relationships, and those are committed relationships, not just romance, not flirting. 8th house is psychology, it's taxes, it's whose money are you joined to. 9th house is learning and ideologies. 10th is career. 11th is like your friends and family, and 12th is psychic abilities, the things we can't see. Yeah.
I got a question for you really fast so you guys can explain. So with the age of Aquarius, is it good now that Pluto's going direct, and if you're an Aquarius or an air sign?
Pluto going direct is such it depends on whether it's hitting your Pluto is a very small orb. If I'm doing a personal reading, I'm giving like 2 or 3 degrees for you to feel a Pluto transit. If it's sitting on your sun, you're just going to be glad that it's off in retrograde. Like Capricorns in late degrees, they're probably going to throw a party when it moves into Aquarius. Right.
Okay. Yeah. I see, this is what I see psychically. And so you guys have to understand that she's the expert astrologer, but I'm just the medium. And so I see it, but
there's no just in that sentence.
Exactly. Hey, we're opposites. Yeah. I understand what's going on and what's happening. And then what I do is I kind of look for the astrology of it. Where Susie looks at the astrology and then uses, she does it opposite.
Well, it's a combination. I always say I'm really lucky to have a varied toolbox. Yes. So when it moves into Aquarius, which it will not permanently without looking back to Capricorn until November 18th of 2024. Okay. It's going to take one little last, Capricorn's going to have one little last hurrah in September to November next year. We move into Aquarius. It will stay there for 20 years. When it does, it's going to slowly transform the power back into the people. It's not going to move in and miraculously fix all of our problems, our food insecurities as a country or anything else, our homelessness problem, but we will start to get solutions. Aquarius is a solution-based sign.
Remember, I have said, Kent, that from 24 to 26 it's going to blow our minds. That's when this transit starts. This is all starts.
Okay, so I've got a question, and I'm a husband, so you may have covered this, and I missed it. So if let's say your moon is in Virgo, how do you know what house it's in? Which one of the 12 houses?
You would have to know your birth time.
Yep.
It's for your rising sign. If anybody does not have their chart, you can go on astro.com, but you can also email me. I will just send you a chart.
Yeah, it only takes a couple minutes.
Yeah.
I think I send them usually to Cafe Astrology.
Yeah. I mean, I have all the software. So I mean, I would be, if you just need a chart, it all depends on your rising sign. So I'm a Virgo rising, and also your rising sign, if you're a Taurus rising and this eclipse is hitting, if you're below 5 degrees, if you're 5 degrees, it's going to happen in your 12th house, which is a very different subject matter than if you're beyond 5 degrees, 5 degrees or more, it's happening in your first. So if you're a Virgo moon, you'll only know where your house is when you know what your rising is.
Okay. I do know what my rising is, but I don't know where I put it.
Yeah, I told you. I had you look it up, remember?
I know.
I always get emails for you. I looked it up with him using his name, and now I get things that say, "Hey, Kent," all the time.
You should. Let me know. Yeah.
I saw a question that said they didn't know their birth time. We do something called rectification. It's something I do for clients. I've worked with people who are adopted and don't know. I worked with people who it was such crazy chaos at the hospital that like 3 different people swear on times that are hours apart. There are ways that we can see the older you are, the little easier it is, because there'll be a time that you like move according to your chart. Your chart progresses and we can see events and then time them. It takes a long time, but you can get at least a very, very close birth time.
Yes. I got somebody asking, is rising and ascending the same? Yes, it is. I noticed, this is what I tell people. If you don't know your time, what you do is you pick a time and then see how close it matches you. That's what I've done. And for some people, it seems like that works for them. So
I personally can't recommend that, but because that there's so much that's the houses there's so many things that can a Sagittarius in the 4th house, which would give you a completely different, if your Sagittarius sun is in the 4th house,
Yes.
you could feel like a Cancer and then put your rising sign to give you an abundance of Cancer someplace and feel like, oh, that's it. But the 4th house can, like, the houses matter so much. So yeah, rectification 100%. And there's lots of, I do that, but there's also lots of astrology. You can just look up astrologer rectification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Because it's going to make a difference where those transits, if you're going to buy a house, gosh, all of that.
They're on your birth certificate. Yeah. Somebody just asked me. Yes. And that's okay.
Not always, but 2 of my kids have it and 1 doesn't.
You know what? I found that a lot of people that don't live in the United States, especially if they're in South America, they don't have the time.
Yeah.
I had a friend from the Caribbean. She didn't have it on there either.
Yeah.
So it depends on, and then on top of it, you could be off. Like, I can't believe I was off by 8 minutes. I did not know. I was sure it was a certain time, and I looked it up, and it changed a couple of my signs by 8 minutes. So
8 minutes would change like your vertex and your moon. If you had any planets close to 29 degrees, but what it mostly is going to change is your rising.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So
yeah.
So I've got it. So mine, my moon is in Virgo and my ascension's in Aquarius.
Okay. So if you're ascending Aquarius, then your Virgo moon is going to end up being, give me 1 second. You're probably in the, I would say the 10th house. What degree?
It should have degrees on there, dear.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on. I got for my moon. Yep. It's 15 degrees.
Okay. So depending on your ascendant degree, that moon is gonna land you either in your either very late 8th and depending on your houses are different. Everybody's houses are different sizes compared to where you live.
Okay.
To the hemisphere, to the equator. So you could be very late 8th house, or you could be probably 9th and possibly 10th.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
And you do understand that some people don't even understand the houses. And so explain that really fast. Because some people are just like, oh my God, this is so overwhelming. It can be, but explain the houses to them so they understand what that means.
Oh gosh, I don't think I could explain the houses in under 2 minutes. I'm trying to talk like the Matchbox guy here. And if you're old, you understand that reference. So the houses are, when we talk about the rising sign, when you are born, on the easternmost horizon, there is a constellation, a sign, and that assigns you your ascendant. It's sunrise someplace. You know how they say it's 5 o'clock somewhere? It's sunrise someplace. So that from there are your houses, because we live on a round spherus. We live on a globe. So your chart is round. Yeah.
I thought we did flat Earth, right? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. If it was flat Earth, it would be called a natal square instead of a natal wheel. Yeah.
Exactly. So like one of your houses, I know the 12th house is the house of spirituality, and
it's many things. Yeah.
And so all of them have a different assignment, so that you guys understand. So one is for home and family. One is, it's like that. 10th house is usually your midheaven. And so, and that can be having to do with work and kind of thing. But anyway, so really fast. So we've got this eclipse. So it's going to affect people a little. I know, I'm going to tell you, this last eclipse I had, this lunar eclipse I had, was when Jesus came to me and talked to me. And it was life-changing. Like, oh my God. And you know what I'm saying? And it had to have been in the right spot. I just didn't even pay attention.
And that's it. It's find an astrologer, because the thing is like, I just had a reading with somebody yesterday. This eclipse is happening in their 6th house. And the last time we spoke, she sees me once a month just for 15 minutes, a half an hour. And last time we spoke, I said, just let's keep an eye on your health. You have some transits coming up. And then she says, well, I had to go to the hospital, like, and I had this and that. And now this eclipse is happening in her, the ruler of her 6th house is heavily involved. So it even if it's not happening in your 6th house, if the ruler of your 6th house, which is a whole other thing, it depends on how it hits your chart. It depends on how close it is to your, your planets and what planets.
Yes. And so if you do end up with something that could be bad, how can you offset it?
Well, bad is relative. Everything that comes to us, especially full moons, come to take things away. For us, universe wants to help us. This full moon is happening in a fixed sign. So the things that universe, astrology, astronomy is coming to help move out of our lives are probably things that are harder to let go of, because fixed signs, cardinal signs are like, yes, let's move it. And mutables kind of don't care. The fixed signs, which are Taurus and Scorpio, of course, and Aquarius and Leo, change is a little harder for them. There's a resistance. So we have something that's resistant to move, depending on the subject of the house. And then we have Jupiter expanding the emotion about that resistance to move. And then we have, the vital energy, the sun, tiny bit our ego, that's debatable, but attached to Mars and Mercury, which is speaking whatever is feeling like it's inflaming you.
Yes. So I got somebody that's asking, so generally, can you it is coming into Scorpio. So she wants to know, is this good time? Is this a good season for me? I guess we'd have to take a look at her chart better, And
also, it depends on your angles, but Scorpio is ruled by both Mars and Pluto. So it wants you to go to the depths so you can understand what the best thing to change is. It's still a fixed sign, but it's willing, it knows how to sit in its wounds so it can examine and be aware. Taurus really prefers to see stability as things not changing. And the one thing in life we can kind of guarantee is that it will change.
Yes.
And so there's that polarity and that resistance there between the two signs. And then we have Jupiter and Mercury and Mars all in the mix.
Yes.
And at the same time, depending, you could have all cardinal stuff, whatever's in those houses still wants to move. And we still have, the node squaring Pluto.
Yes.
So depending where that's hitting in your chart, I love a full moon. Listen, I love a full moon. I was going to say before, it's like if you put a bunch of stuff on the sand at the shoreline, and you just want to be, and your mind knows you have to be done with it. Your heart's like, okay, I can get with that. I can just, and you just need that last thing, because every time you turn around, it's still there and it's stuck in the sand, and the waves come and take it out for you. And if you can look at a full moon like that as help.
I know I'm telling you, I didn't realize that some of these eclipses and things really play on you. I know it's coming, whatever, but I paid more attention to it now, and I'm noticing a huge difference. Now, before we go, how do we get a hold of you? Because I got a couple people asking.
SusieEvolutionary.com, and Susie is spelled as you see it on the screen. SusieEvolutionary.com is just the easiest way. You can contact me through there. I have my socials attached, all of that. So, and you can book an appointment. I'm also on YouTube. I'll actually be on YouTube later today doing earth signs for October. And I'm a trauma-informed metaphysical practitioner and astrologer. So we work within a safe space, and I'm happy to say, I can help give tools for when those moments hit and they feel a little crunchy, so that we can, the best thing we can do is have awareness for things.
Yes.
And anyone who's willing to be aware, that at that point we can take it gentle and slow and get you to the life that most aligns with your chart and with your soul.
Yep. Thank you very much, Susie. I will talk to you later. All
All
right.
right.
All
Bye,
right.
love.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you. Well, did I? Okay. So I'm going to take readings now. And hold on here.
That's all right. I'll figure out how to see myself off.
I think you can click off. Can you click?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Thanks, Susie.
Okay. Okay. So before I start, I'm getting a lot of people going,
Is that yours?
did you predict what's going on right
That was
now?
it.
You guys know I do predictions before I'm going to yes, I'm going to take questions. They're always free on the podcast. Always.
We had a coffee accident here. Did
you did? Oh, that was why. Oh, okay.
You couldn't have told me that before the show, Lana?
Well, I didn't. What happened there? Hey, people put me on the spot like that all the time. Right now, people are putting me on the spot. They want to know more about what's going on with Israel. And remember, I predicted I saw tanks in the desert, and I don't know why.
You did, and I can pull that up too.
Yes, and I know. Yeah, it's because he's wondering. They're also wondering. A lot of people are wondering also about the speaker. Now, if you were to think back when I predicted this speaker thing, when he became the speaker, I said, I don't understand. I don't think he was going to be speaker because I don't see him. And now he's gone. And so I do see this other guy, and I can describe him, and it does look like he will be speaker, but there's another person involved, and I don't understand that. I don't get this. I don't understand. I know Hakeem Jeffries was involved somehow, possibly, and all this stuff, and I kept going, well, maybe that's it. But there's somehow somebody else involved. But I do see him. They showed me, and they describe, like I can see it in my head, and I'm describing him. Then I look at a picture. I'm like, yeah, that's who I'm seeing. So I do think eventually he will be elected. They might get rid of him too. I mean, this is just a mess. And you have to remember, it's the age of Aquarius. Yeah. Nothing if it does not produce love, it will fall, it will crumble upon itself. Okay. Any UAW strike updates. Now, remember, I said 3, and I wanted to say 3 months, but I scared the heck out of people. So I said 3 weeks, I thought, but I know it's 3. Yeah. I still say there's something I don't know if it has something to do with the UAW strike. Something's important the 24th of October. I just don't understand what. So that is a prediction. It doesn't feel like it's something to do with the strikes. So, okay. Which, if they settle at the 23rd, we heard at the 24th, and there's the 3.
Yeah.
And I do that sometimes. Well, I'll be like, because remember when we had that implosion of that submarine, I said it was something about 2. Well, it happened on the 22nd, on the second day at 2:00. I was laughing. I'm like, well, there's the 2s. Sometimes I don't always understand the number I see. I try to be as accurate as I possibly can, but sometimes they just give me that, and that's what I get. All right. So, okay. Yes, I'm going to take questions. So go ahead and you guys can ask them. We've still got a few minutes here.
All right, here we go. Question. May I ask, what are Ishan's feelings or thoughts towards me presently? Ishika says.
Okay, Ishika. He doesn't want to go too fast. He wants to take it kind of slow, and he wants to look at options. I don't know what that means. So, but yeah, you might know what that means. Okay. Yeah, don't push him. He doesn't want to be pushed. It's kind of like the feeling I'm getting. Okay, Ishika. All right. Haley wants to know if she's going to be successful in medical coding. You are. It's going to take a long time, though, a while to get trained and find your, well, if you're not already trained, but to find a job. It's going to be a little bit longer than you would care for, but you will get one. You're just going to have to, grin and bear it, because there's something coming. It's just going to take a little longer than you want. Okay.
There you go.
All right.
Sean says, hi, Lana. Bless you, ma'am. Been with you 2 years. You're definitely a vessel of the Most High. Kindly requesting a reading for a Virgo Libra cusp this October.
You know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I quit doing my cusps, didn't I? Because I'm returning back to some of my roots. Some people now, my astrologer friend does not believe in cusps. She's like, it's either you are or you aren't. Yeah. But if you're a cusp, you're a cusp. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm a cusp. I'm a Sag Capricorn cusp. I just am. And they'll give you certain little idiosyncrasies of a cusp. And I'm sorry, I don't know. I just feel that they are. And he wants to know, I haven't been using them. I haven't been doing them. I probably should, because we are our own little entity, and it only lasts, 4 or 5 days. Whereas, so usually around the 17th or 18th to like the 22nd, 23rd. And for some people, it's a little different. Every month, every sign is a little different. But I'm just a believer in cusps. And so I get that a lot from astrologers all the time. But I don't care. I just, knowing that I know my daughter's one. And I don't know. So the jury's out on that. But I will say that, yes, I'm going to try to get back to my roots a little bit. You guys do know that I'm getting surgery in 11 weeks and I'm going to be off a little bit. And so what I'm going to do, I've decided, is I'm going to pre-tape a lot of stuff. So that way, when you guys it'll be taping as I'm getting better. I perceive my surgery to go like my daughter's, because my daughter had this surgery and she lost 178 pounds, but she lost a lot of weight. And she's very much like me. Like, she has all of my allergies, and you know what I'm saying? It's just weird. And she walks and talks like me. So I kind of think that probably this will go pretty smoothly, because hers did. She has to be very careful what she eats yet, because, like, I don't know if you guys know, I'm getting weight loss surgery. So I'm tired of, I've put all this weight on from having the kids. I can't get it off. Getting older. I keep putting weight on. I'm done. So you'll be watching my weight loss surgery journey too, because after it's done, you're going to see I used to be very thin and very, very, very fit, because I was a tennis player. So, and I'm thinking I'm going to start playing I think I'm going to play pickleball. Have you ever heard of
There you go.
I love I went to join a league and was very discouraged by a couple of people's behavior at the pickleball. And so I kind of haven't been going, but I'm going to pick that back up. It's, to me, after playing tennis competitively, pickleball is a very, very simple game to me. So
Easy.
And it's okay though.
All right. Sean, let's see. Melissa says, we're looking to sell a business property. Should we go with the first agent we met with? Felt good vibes.
I want you to be careful. I don't know why. Melissa, I know you got really good vibes with that agent. I feel like she's he or she, I feel like that one, is it a she? It seems like it's a she. I don't know. Is very, very pulled, like very, very busy. You might go with the second one. Okay. Let's hit Hawk's Nest question, because like they're on YouTube. And so sometimes you guys do know, sometimes you ask a question and you just donate a little money to me. So go ahead and, what's that say? Lana, is it Chris? Oh, it's Christina. Are we close to my son's Nathan getting the football scholarship? Yes, I know what you're talking about. We are excited, nervous, and scared. I'm a Cap, and so you're a planner, and you are absolutely right, because I'm a planner too. I'm like, as a Cap rising. You've still got a couple of months. I still say January, about third week of January into February, you're going to know. Okay. So just remember that. That's around the time, Hawk's Nest. Okay. All right. Good morning, Autumn. Okay.
Oh.
So I got one question here. It's very interesting. Seshi Tech, what should I teach? I feel like you're teaching, you might be doing something to do with writing or English. There's something around that. If not, look into that. I think you have a knack for that. You might be a writer. Okay. Just a thought. Okay.
Maria Garcia says, hi, Lana. Do you see me getting a raise or promotion at my present job?
Yes, but it's not until March or April, Maria. If you wait it out, you'll get it. But it's just, it's only 4 months away. It's not that far. Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Tracy Bradley says, what direction should I go? I feel stuck and irrelevant.
I get it. Okay. When you're stuck, so let me explain this, because I'm writing a book on this, and one of these book days I'll get the dang book done. Because that's just the way it goes for me. Because I'm so busy. When you're feeling stuck, you're in a spirit in a process of a spiritual awakening. It's that first step. And what is that first step? I've been teaching this forever. How do you get unstuck, Kent? Do you remember?
No.
You don't remember? Do something that scares you.
Oh, do something that scares you.
Do something that
step outside of your comfort zone.
Yep, it's a comfort zone issue. It can be little, and you can start little. Go get something to eat you've never eaten before. Go drive somewhere and do something you've never done before. It gets you out of the mode so that you can make the bigger steps. So go ahead and do that. But that's the only way you'll level up, is to do something that scares you. Yeah, and matter of fact, when you're stuck like this, for some reason, I notice that there's a microscope on what scares you. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm scared to leave my job, but I'm stuck in this job. You know, there's like a microscope on you, because all of a sudden that problem seems so big. And what's the simple solution? Find a new job. Oh, I'm scared. See, it goes, yeah. All right. So remember that. Okay. All right.
Brittany says, "Hey, Lana, when are Jesse and I moving into our new home? We're planning on ordering one soon."
You're ordering one, so you're gonna have it built. Spring, April. Yeah, you're gonna be talking to somebody in January, but it's gonna be April. So are they gonna have it done that fast? Sometimes they do get them done that fast. Most of the houses that have been built around me, I live out in the country, have taken up to 9 months. Because you know some of these places pull, they drag their feet.
Drag their feet. Yep.
But yeah. Okay.
Terry T, good morning, says, "Will my loneliness go away, Miss Lana? I've been feeling this lately."
Okay. Well, I know this. Yes, because you know what? You're going to force yourself to get out, and you're going to find your tribe, Terry. Because I know that this is a little bit of a tribe. You guys know that if you get online with me on Sunday, we have the same people, and we're like a tribe. But I feel like you need that human contact. I think that you need to force yourself to get out and join a book club, or, do you know what I'm saying? Something small. Just a little bit. It's gonna relieve that, and you're gonna feel connected. I think what's happened since 2020 is we all feel so disconnected. I know I do. I don't know. It's a mental thing for me. Like, I hang around the house more than I ever have in my whole life since the pandemic. I'm not a homebody, really. I get things done around here. I go do about my business, and I'm gone. And I've been hanging around the house more. And I think we got to trying to get over that and get back to our norm as much as possible. And it's been kind of hard, because I noticed that I do hang around my house more, and I'm like, and then I feel, you know what I mean? Then I'm like, well, I'm very, very social. So then I'm like, well, I want to go do something. I'm like, no, I need to go home. Well, why? It's created like a wheel in me, mentally. So I get this. I understand.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
Ega says, "Will I receive a payout for my car accident?"
Yes, it's not quite what you want, but it's not bad either. Okay.
Tracy says, "Was I switched at birth?" Tracy 7 Trace.
I don't think so, Tracy. Do you feel like you're just out of sorts and you don't fit with your family? I don't think so. Oh, it's a mobile home. Okay, I get it. She's going to buy a mobile home. Okay, that makes sense. Yep. Because if you buy it, okay, so going back to one of my last questions. So if you buy it in January, or you look at it in the end of January, it would be set down. It would all be in place by April. That would make sense. That does make sense. Okay. That's all I know. Okay. All right.
Okay. Let's see here. Nicoletta T90 says, "I've been lighting candles for angels. Do you see them around me?"
Yes, dark blue, or a blue, royal blue. Is that Raphael? Look it up, because I see the colors. And every angel an archangel has their own color, and it's royal blue. And so I don't hold me to this, I think it's Raphael, though. It might be Michael. It's one of the big ones. It's one of the 4. There's 4 big ones. And then after that, there's like Haniel and Zadkiel, and like that. So if you don't know, go back to one of my podcasts about angels. It's about, when did we do that? We did do those this year, didn't we, earlier?
Yeah, go back to, all of them are out there on Spotify. So whip out there to Spotify.
I'm thinking probably February or March. I think I did them. Yeah.
Christina Conley says, "When do you see me being financially stable, please? And good morning."
You next year, middle of the year. Okay, Christina.
Nice.
Plugging at it. It's going to be a little, got to get through the holidays. It's going to get a little better in 24. Okay.
Wendy says, will I be officially invited for a presentation soon? How will it go?
I want to say yes. And it'll
Nice.
go. You'll go. I feel like you're going to be so nervous, and you're going to be like, get yourself worked up, but it's going to be okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sean then says, Lana, when are you doing an interview with Santos Banaki?
You know what? Hey, I'm getting more and more people coming on. I do have a interview with another. He's not an archbishop, but he is a pastor of a more liberal progressive church, and he's coming next week or the week after. So, okay. All right.
There we go. Garnet, last one here, and then we're out of time, says, what is causing shakes in my hands?
I know it's neurological. Hold on. I want you to be checked for like autoimmune. I feel like, boy, I wonder if it's blood sugar. It's something about your autoimmune. I have to study it better. And by the way, just to let you guys know that I'm taking dandelion root. Remember, I'm getting my master herbalism. I'm telling you, it's dropped my blood sugar 20 points, like to a point that I don't need any medicine at all. I was scared I was going to be on medicine. It works. And it's a superfood. It does so much stuff, you guys. Dandelion root. I'm telling you, if you can eat one leaf, two or three leaves, dandelion root or dandelion leaves a day, it cures everything. I'm dead serious. It's amazing. And I just want to tell you that, guys. So, and if you want to find that, you can find that, go to Amazon, go into lanasenchantedskye into my store, and you can find what I'm buying. But otherwise you can find it online. Okay.
Yep. Hey, listen, I know there's some that we didn't get to, folks, some questions, but we're right on the back end of this. If we didn't answer it, jump out to Lana's website, enchantedskye.com for fast and affordable answers. Try coffee.com, Enchanted Skye. You can trust her for good, reliable insights. For all of us here at 216 The Net, thank you so much for getting caught in the net with us. Until we meet again, remember to always be good, but more importantly, be good to one another.